We make the future. Utopias of a climate responsible world 2035. Arctic Snapshots.
Tackling climate insecurity. A green transition that enhances human well-being. February 20th, 2035, Vancouver.
Lee, honey, I've been looking into some travel deals. Hear me out. How about we go to Fiji? I've always wanted to go there.
It's a really long flight. I don't think we could afford it due to global aviation tax. Also, I don't think the locals would be happy to see you. Ingrid, you're Norwegian. Norway is notorious for its zero-tolerance policy on climate refugees.
Oh, yeah. Can we fly at all?
Well, United Nations recommend that citizens of the richest countries only fly once a year, and only if they compensate emissions.
Hey, I know. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
No. Not cool. International Court of Justice just punished their president for that geoengineering project that went wrong in Antarctica.
How about a safari? Let's go to Malawi.
Have you forgotten that after that hazard report, the UN made a climate-based humanitarian intervention in Malawi?
Yeah.
And took control of the Startek coal plant to guarantee the health of the people in the region.
Yeah.
Malawi even got temporarily suspended from the UN.
Yeah, but...
I want to go to some place where I can post pictures online and won't get judged by my peers.
I guess we could always go see my family in Norway.
Yeah. Or... No, wait. After all, China imposed travel warnings on Norway because of Arctic oil drilling. Or at least, that's what my government said. Maybe we could just stay home and pretend that we had the best honeymoon ever.
No giving up. We'll travel somewhere that does not require flying, has no extreme weather events, the weather is not too hot and humid, and allows us to feel secure.
April 25th, 2035. Taking the ferry to Alaska.
Alaska, here we come. This is amazing. The best honeymoon ever.
Let's just hope there won't be too many tourists and climate refugees. Climate havens get easily overcrowded these days.
At least we don't have to worry about finding a hotel. My old schoolmate Mikael was kind enough to let us crash at his residence. It's going to be fun, and we'll save money.
And so, later.
Mikael, great to see you.
Ingrid, Lee, congrats for tying the knot. And welcome to Nuktovik. Let's take a ride to my place.
This place is awesome. And your company pays for the rent? Business is booming, huh?
Yeah, this is an ideal place for a digital nomad like me. I've been busy working for Food Partners Co. Incorporated. We're innovating behavioral change tools which gently persuade people to make climate-responsible choices in their kitchens.
Oh.
My company benefits a great deal from climate tax breaks.
Wow.
Okay.
Our company succeeded in low-carbon development bank's last year's call, and we got millions to design these experimental ideas. Yay!
Mikael was a total powerhouse already back in school. Oh, and what's this? They gave your company a climate certificate? What next? A Nobel Prize for saving the world with your green marketing vibes?
I wouldn't mind. Local clean air is boosting my vibes like you wouldn't believe.
Uh-huh.
And look at this region. There are various new incentives that bridge development and emission reduction. Quality of life is greatly enhanced by carbon-optimized mobility solutions that bring people from distant locations to this hub.
Yeah.
And speaking of hubs, there's a party tonight, and you two are invited.
Ooh.
April 25th, 2035, 8 p.m. Mayor's Banquet, Nuktovik.
Oh my My god, I can't believe your friend talked us into attending this trap party.
I know it's dull, but I think Mikael really thought we'd like this. Whatever this is.
Competition or free transition, which is...
The climate agenda mainstreamed into UN organizations.
Gradually, everyone will benefit, but not equally. Here's human extinction.
Well, our honeymoon is going to waste listening to these boring old bastards.
Shh, they'll hear us.
Whatever, I'm going to get a refill.
Dimension flows, aligned with the Paris Agreement.
Collective leadership. One state, one voice.
Climate charter, and we all need to ensure that...
Could you fix me a pina colada, please? I could really use something fresh and fun.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We don't have any pineapples.
What? No pineapples? But why?
They monitor the entire supply chain for climate effects these days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this place is a climate haven, but things are changing here as well.
Ooh.
I'm personally concerned about my job, since the region's fossil industry is on its last leg. The final nail in the coffin is the latest reform.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep. Arctic states have been able to extract fossils 200 nautical miles from their coast. The UN has now decided that this right be taken away. You know, less VIPs, less parties, less work for bartenders. But to be honest, climate activists are easier clients.
Yeah.
There you are. Where have you been?
Sorry, I just had the most interesting conversation with the bartender.
Uh-huh.
Let's find Mikael. I want to test how well he really sits with this crowd.
Okay.
I've got some banger questions for him. Like this one.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it really seems that states are all pulling together to prevent dangerous effects of climate change. What do you think are the most significant milestones of the past 10 years?
You smarty pants. Think he'll know how to answer that?
April 25th, 2035, 9 p.m. Mayor's Banquet, Noktovik.
Mikael, Ingrid and I have been looking for you. I want to ask you a question about the most significant milestones in elevating climate responsibility into a key global norm.
Sure, I've been talking about these things all evening. When it comes to your question, however, there is a lot to unpack, so we have to go back in time. Do you remember the catastrophic hurricane in the Bahamas back in 2025? The hurricane left tens of thousands of people homeless and without food. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. The hurricane ruined my vacation. But that was nothing compared to human losses, suffering and grief experienced by the locals. That really put things in perspective for me and many others.
Yeah, I remember that. That's why I applied for a traineeship at the United Nations.
And, if I remember correctly, that's where you lovebirds first met. I guess the silver lining in catastrophes is that they bring people together. At that time, social media platforms mainstreamed climate action and empowered the youth to insist on radical change.
No wonder. The hurricane that hit the Bahamas was followed by droughts in Europe and flooding in China. Again, tens of thousands of people died.
More like a social media, Mikael?
Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Lee?
Mikael, I was thinking back about the droughts and flooding and how I secured a job at the UN after my traineeship. We worked on a very influential report, which you of course remember. The report brought new tangible evidence on the Gulf Stream collapse from 2037 onwards, stressing a high likelihood of areas in Europe and the US becoming uninhabitable.
It's the last-minute act.
This is just like limits to growth.
Finally, the scientific community was being listened to. 2027 was a big year.
Would you like some more canapes?
Oh, would I ever? These look delicious.
Those were the days, yeah. Back when you were busy working at the UN, I was busy with my startup businesses in the US and Greenland. Even though the Trump administration created many challenges, many US cities and states fought back. Some regions in the North American Arctic even emerged to lead through their example.
Oh man, these are so good.
In practice, I witnessed some very interesting and surprising developments, not only in the US but also in Canada and Greenland. There were massive investments in hydropower projects, advancements in hydrogen engines, and smart ship technology. And all these with strong indigenous participation and inclusion of their knowledge. And low carbon mobility solutions for tourism.
Is this real caribou fur?
And then cities adopting more ambitious zero carbon programs, small scale manufacturing, regenerative agricultural practices, an Arctic high ambition coalition with indigenous leaders.
Where was that bar counter again?
Certainly, some good effort was made to pave way for a greener future. But what really turned the tide was the 2029 oil spill incident in Alaska.
Oh, say no more. While events like this had traditionally caused concern only among activists, this time it was different. The spill was triggered by a big storm, not human error. But what really sent shockwaves to the governments globally was that the spill severely impacted defense capability.
When big wheels are turning, unexpected things happen.
Yeah, but some big changes take place without us even noticing. Did you know that some of the popular social media apps you use deliberately push the kind of news to your feed that make you feel concerned about the environment?
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Anyway, back to the timeline. From 2030 onwards, the discussion on climate security escalated at the UN. Global civil society movement pressured big emitters to take climate refugees. Debate on including climate refugees in the UN refugee definition heated up, but no formal decision has been made so far. And as you know, opinions on immigration continue to be polarized. Gradually, a debate on the UN majority vote also began. And finally, we started seeing some concrete results on the World Bank's climate reform to align the financial flows with the Paris Agreement goals. And so, due to all these developments, the human race has arrived at the realization of being in the same boat. The UN has grown stronger and more unified, and, grande finale, there seems to be support for making drastic changes within and with the UN. I'll drink to that.
Huh?
Hey, you two, finish up. That was the last call. What a great party. Mikael, where are we heading next?